And
somebody paid my card and my phone. It's very unfortunate that I think as members, we need to respect one another when you meet...
go on to your debate.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, I want to dwell on what curricula CBC means. It has 7 core competencies, because I think that's where we're having a problem. The first is communication and collaboration. The second is critical thinking and problem solving. The third is creativity and imagination. The fifth is citizenship, digital literacy, learning to learn. Mr. Speaker, fellow members, we have a system that has recognized the core competencies, but implementing so that these core competencies can be achieved by every kid is not in place. Mr. Speaker, I want to support the mover of the motion, my very good friend Loco, my neighbor, that it's high time that we put the polity first and suspend the implementation of this program. Mr. Speaker, we are talking about increasing competency in terms of creativity and innovation. But Mr. Speaker, you realize that the environment that we have put our kids is not conducive for creativity. Mr. Speaker, we haven't put the element of digital literacy because we have no laboratories, we have no computers, etc., etc. Mr. Speaker, we have no facilities to encourage the learner to learn more. Why? Because we lack the basic infrastructure. For example, I see demonstration on swimming in many schools. Surely, this is learning to learn. Swimming on sand, swimming on concrete, and yet we are saying we are impacting competencies to our children. I think we are condemning our children than making them become good citizens. What I know, the only thing that this CBC promote is singing and dancing and the national anthem. There is nothing else that I see. Mr. Speaker, these schools lack infrastructure. These schools lack textbooks.
Honorable Meli, what's out of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, is it in order for Honorable Rendikiri to really mislead the House that the only thing the kids are doing in CBC, yet you had actually outlined very well about the qualities and the competencies of the CBC, critical thinking and all the rest.
I'm listening to you.
He's out of order because he's misleading the House.
Order, Honorable Meli. Yes. What he has said is that the only thing he sees are those ones.
But what is,
you can't claim to be seeing for him.
but he's actually misleading the House, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, it's very unfortunate for the Chairman of Education not to be attentive and to be hearing things from his own corners. Very unfortunate, because you are the one who is supposed to be solving these problems. Now it has been brought by Mr. Roko. Please accept to be told where you have failed. Mr. Speaker, we have no textbooks. How are we going to impact good knowledge about competencies on learning, how to learn? Mr. Speaker, this program was rushed. Why? Because the curriculum was not well thought of. The only thing they have come up with, yes, the core competencies. But now, Mr. Speaker, if we lack classrooms, workshops, playing grounds, are we going to impact to our children? Mr. Speaker, the expenditure for the CBC as determined is supposed to be 15,000 per kid. Mr. Speaker, this has not been distributed to the schools. It hasn't been distributed in the schools. In actual fact, the release of money is late, meaning that even the impacting of knowledge is going to be delayed. Mr. Speaker, this system does not create opportunity for people with special needs. And this is one of the failures of education in this country. We have so many people with special needs out there who are failed by 844, who are failed by the older system. And even this new system, these people with special needs are not being catered for in terms of provision of facilities. So, Mr. Speaker, something is seriously wrong. The management of the CBC is we are condemning our parents. Many of them are very poor. We are telling them to provide equipment that the government is supposed to be providing. In actual fact, at the end of the day, you are going to find that parents are the ones that are going to be providing more than the government. 15,000 shillings per kid is not enough. It's not adequate. So you find the burden is going to be borne by the poor parents. Mr. Speaker, I find this system not working. If it's not going to work, it's going to benefit a few who are going through the private institutions. Otherwise, we are going to continue creating disparities. Mr. Speaker, let's take for example, my constituency has 87 primary schools. Out of 87, 17 have been condemned that they cannot host junior secondary. Why? Because they are told they are less than 35. These children are forced to walk for 10 kilometers away from their school. Meaning the government in its policy has become discriminative, because you can imagine a kid walking for 10 kilometers. For 10 kilometers, just because the school does not have 35 pupils in the school. So, Mr. Speaker, I support the activity, I support the motion that has been brought up by Mr. Oluku, and say this: it is time. Education is the only thing that is going to bring everybody together, equality. But with this system, I doubt whether it is going to do. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The member for Kitui South.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity so that I may also support this extremely important motion brought by the Honorable Ruku.